Hello everyone and welcome to this week's class. Because this week we have been focusing more on grounding and stability and reclaiming our power, we're going to continue on with this theme. Now, as a collective, we are experiencing higher amounts of stress energy, fear and anger, and even depression. With everything that's going on in the world, all of us are contributing to this collective energy, and so many of us can feel it. We can feel it energetically, emotionally, some of us even physically. So it's very important for us to maintain that energetic hygiene. However, what we're going to be doing today is a very powerful mudra called the Tse Mudra. This mudra is incredible, and I really cannot overstate that. It releases and overcomes depression, stress, fear, anxiety. It chases away sadness, and it even turns away bad luck and misfortune. It activates the energetic pathways in the body, and when it does that, it clears out all of the negative energy. It is amazing. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel and perhaps unfamiliar with mudras, let me give a quick explanation. A mudra is a hand position. It means seal. So we're sealing off certain meridian points. We have hundreds of meridians and they shoot off of our fingers and our toes. So when we hold certain finger positions or hand positions, it not only circulates the prana back to those energies or those energetic centers, it also activates the elements that are associated with those fingertips. So when we do this mudra, it is meant to be done not only with an intention, but a very powerful focus. Because again, energy follows your intention. It follows where you focus. Now, the Tse Mudra is actually quite simple in position, but it incorporates a hand position along with breath and movement, which is why I think it is so incredibly powerful. So if you're dealing with any of those things right now, like so many of us are, whether it's stress and overwhelm or depression or sadness or grief, or you're having a real bad run of bad luck, this is a wonderful mudra to shift your energy, release this from the body, and get you back into your seat of power. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through all of the steps of how to perform this mudra correctly. And please do not be overwhelmed by the steps. It really is very fluid and simple once they are applied. So you might want to grab a pen and paper. You can always click back to this video, but let's go through how we're going to perform it and the position you need to be in. Like most mudras, it is best to be in a seated position and for your spine to be straight. Now, I don't want you to be all stiff and crazy. I usually just cross my legs and put my back against the couch, or I usually do love to sit on the floor with my back against a wall. It just helps me to ensure that I'm not unconsciously bowing my shoulders. On that note, we just want to relax the shoulders, relax the face. It's meant to be fluid. Now, when it comes to this particular mudra, it does incorporate movement. The Tse Mudra's hand position is quite simple. So I'm going to show that to you now before we go into our list. You are going to get both hands and you're going to touch your thumb to the base of your pinky. Now, if you're like, girl, I don't got that flexibility, my thumb doesn't even want to go there, that's okay. Touch your thumb to the base of your smaller fingers. If you can get it over to your pinky, even better. And you're going to close your 4 fingers over your thumb. And you're going to do this for both hands. That's it. That's the hand position. Thumb to the base of the pinky, 4 fingers, curl over the thumb. Super simple. We got this. Now, let's go over how we apply it. For this mudra, you're going to have your hands palm up on your lap. Now, the first act is to inhale. When we inhale the oxygen, of course, it is good to inhale through the diaphragm, right? So your rib cage and your stomach are expanding out, not through the chest. If you are concerned about your breath work, you can always go back to the box breathing exercise. Or if you just want to practice really quick, just place your hands on your rib cage, inhale, and you'll notice if you do it correctly, your ribs expand and your stomach expand. Most people tend to breathe through their chest. That's very common in our society. It actually triggers stress and anxiety. If you do breathe that way, you'll notice that your rib cages don't expand at all. In fact, they contract in a little bit, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna place your hands palm up in your lap. When you inhale, you are going to slowly pull your fingers into position. So you're gonna inhale, touch the thumb to the pinky, curl the fingers over. And when you fully inhale, you're going to hold your breath or retain your breath. Now, this is kind of an important part, but don't stress about it. As you inhale and then you retain your breath. You are going to silently, in your mind, chant the mantra Om. And you're going to chant it 7 times. You might be like, that's a lot of times to do on one held breath. Don't worry. So many of us tend to breathe through our chest, and so our breathing is shallow, and therefore we can't retain our breath as long. That's okay. Do as many as you can and work your way up to 7. So even though you're not saying it out loud, obviously, because your breath is being held, it can be like Om, 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 like that in your mind 7 times. Once that is completed, you're going to exhale, and you're going to do 2 things. When you exhale, you're going to slowly release the mudra, like you're releasing all of this energy out. But as you exhale, you are going to pull the abdominal wall in, like you're pulling it towards your spine. When you do that, it makes sure that all of the oxygen really comes out. It's getting all of that fear and stress and negativity to out. So as you exhale and you release the mudra, it's almost like you visualize all of that negativity, all of the depression and the stress and the fear just being released out of your hands on the exhale. So we're going to go through it really quickly. Let's just try it out. Don't worry too much about getting to Om 7 times. Let's just try working with the mechanics. Hands palm up on our lap. You're going to inhale. So inhale, pull the fingers into position. Hold your breath. Chant your mantra in your mind. And then on the exhale, you're going to release the mudra and pull the abdominal in. So how did that feel? Probably a little weird at first, and that's normal. You're practicing it out, okay? So I'm going to put my hands up here, even though this is supposed to be hands face up on your lap, okay? I'm just doing it so you can see my hands a little bit more. So it's inhale, pulling in the mudra. Hold. Chant that mantra Om 7 times in the mind. And on the exhale, don't forget to pull the abdominal in and release the hands. So out. Okay, you want to try that one more time? So it's mudra, inhale, then hold the breath, chant 7 times Om. Exhale, release the mudra while pulling the abdominal all the way in towards the spine and pulling all of the oxygen out. Now, it's not as complicated as it might sound, and it takes a little practice. When you do this mudra, it's meant to be done a minimum of 7 times. Please do not do it any less. What we're trying to do is opening up the pathways. It's almost like a half open. Let's fully and completely open it up. 7 times is less than, 2 minutes? Depending how long you hold your breath, how long you do your mantra for. It can be done up to 45 times. So 7 to 45 times. What I actually like to do, I like to just put a timer on, 5-10 minutes, and just do as many as I can within that time frame. It's not going to hurt you to do it more. So don't be like, oh my God, I went 46 times. You're going to be perfectly fine. Now, when you do this kind of mudra, you might notice that your heat or temperature rises a little bit. It's because we're incorporating that pranayama, that breath, with that focus and a mantra and a mudra. I mean, it's like the perfect trifecta. I love it. So let's try it out. This is going to be my challenge to you this week. It would be best for you guys, try it out for 10 days straight. Show yourself that you can do it. It's not just for the sake of your own health, your mental well-being, your emotional and spiritual well-being, but just like anything else, just like any other exercise, it gets stronger. You get stronger the more that you do it. And when it comes to mudras, it is best to try to do them a couple times throughout the day. And if you only do it once, try doing it the same time every day. Now, of course, if you're like, my schedule's everywhere and it's going to change, that's okay. It's always the power of intention. What's most important is your focus. So as you sit down, you're like, I am releasing all of my stress, anxiety, fear, depression, sadness, negativity, bad luck, whatever your intention is. So as you inhale, you can even imagine bringing all of that good energy, all of that prana and that light into your body. And as you chant that mantra Om in your mind, Om has a very powerful clearing effect. In fact, it has the same clearing effect as sage, except what you're doing is you're basically saging the inside of your body. So as you chant, even though it's internal, I promise you, you'll still feel the vibrational rates of the mantra. As you're visualizing and repeating it in your mind, feel the vibrations of that mantra. So as you do that, it's clearing and the mudra is releasing. You're inhaling, clearing, releasing, inhaling, clearing, releasing. So don't worry too much if it takes a little while to get the hang of it, if it's a little weird at first. It is worth the practice. I promise you it'll take you 4 minutes. 4 minutes to kind of get into the role of it. I think the most challenging part for some people is the breath, because we're not always used to breathing deeply, consciously, with intention. And we tend to breathe shallow and quick, which continues to trigger our stress and our anxiety. Now, I'm really excited for this mudra, and I really hope none of you skip it. You will feel profoundly different by the end of the 10 days. I guarantee it. What I'm kind of excited to see is that fortune turnaround. So please jump into the community, share your stories. Let me know what's happened. Let me know how you feel, how it's helped to change some things, and how it's benefited you in some way. And if you know of anyone else that can benefit from this mudra, share this with them as well. Anyways, guys, I hope this serves you, and I will see you next week for next week's class. Take care.